Okay, Mike, how you doing? So far so good. I got the seat belt put back together. It took me a few times to get the tension more or less okay. I put the cap back on. Solenoid was sticking. The solenoid rod had a little bit of an oxidation, so I cleaned it all off and now it moves freely. So that probably was the initial issue. Now the spring tension unfortunately is a little bit on the weak side, but nonetheless it goes back. It's just, like I said, just a little bit loose, just slightly, you know, when it goes back, but at least it's not going to be all over the place. Plus it's going to give you the seat belt. So just show you a quick operation. You see, close the door, the seat belt is given to you. Now it's tight, that's normal, and then when we plug it in, it becomes more loose. That is normal. Oops, okay, so yeah, ignition on. Just so it becomes more loose. Obviously it locks, that's a good thing. So it is on the more loose side. Now when we unbuckle it, it goes back, and that's normal operation. Like I said, I didn't want to go crazy with super tight tensioning on the springs because I'm afraid they will break. So I made it a little lighter. So you just have to follow it with your hand, just so to get the seat belt to go back in. For example, I'll show you. So I'm in the car. Seat belt. I'm gluing the paneling over there. So I have the seat belt. You have to move it. Click it in. Now it's clicked in. Now I can move more or less freely. Okay, so here's the seat belt here. So as you can see, I can move freely. It's light. The seat belt is light, so we're okay. As you can see, I don't know if you can see it. I cannot see myself on the video. Now, when I unbuckle, actually, you know what? Let me try to flip. I don't know if I don't know how to. Whatever. I don't know how to do it. So anyway. So now I'm okay, I can move, and then when I unbuckle, basically you just have to just feed it back, just like that, and let go. So that way, we have seat belt more or less behind you. Yes, it's gonna be a little bit on the loose end, but better than it was all the way on the floor. So to me, it is totally workable solution because I couldn't find the seat belt anywhere. Worst comes to worst, there is a possibility to redo this with the 4-door seat belt. I can just remove the springs and remove the seat belt from the actual housing. Not like I showed you on the previous video. I cannot remove it at the end here because it's stitched together. But at the housing there is a pin. I can move the pin out, I can remove the belt, but I have to loosen up all the springs and then recoil it all and retighten it. So that's the idea. So far this is still undone. It's because I have to feed the panel through and tighten everything up together here. The bolt is missing here for the seat. As you can see, it's just kind of rusty, whatnot. Not super critical because this other seat is going to push it in place. Panel screw is missing as well down here. Again, this is none of these things are super critical, so everything is gonna work. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap up with the belt, with the panels and everything, and I'll move on to the seat belt because SRS light it comes on and off and what have you. I don't know what this is, just needs to be cleaned off a little bit. I don't remember that, I mean, because I now worked inside the car in this area, so it could have been in the back there. But it's just, like I said, it's just dirt. So let me just wrap up all this. I'll move on to the seat belt buckle because that is an issue. A sail panel here, and then once SRS is done, the last thing will be let me show you what's going on over there. There's two things I have to do. these wires. They're routed out. These are your fan wires. It's gonna be a little bit difficult because I have to run them all the way. I doubt that they will be in better shape here, because I saw a fray cable just like that all the way inside the fuse box when I was looking for the radio situation, why the radio does not shut off. This fuse right here is very loose. It's the whole assembly has to be replaced. This whole block of fuses, this whole block. These are three sections, 1, 2, 3. This section right here, this fuse right here is bad. I cleaned it all off. I tried to bend it out. As you can see, I made a couple of holes so I can just move pins closer, so it's just, you know, it's sticking, it's touching. So far so good, I'm just saying. But the bad cable was under these fuse box, so I have to feed the wires all the way inside the fuse box, because the fan relay, okay, so basically the fan relay is in there underneath this cover, so this has to all come out, and then I can get to the fan relay, and that's where this wire originates. So I will have to probably make a couple of openings to feed the new cables in. I'll do it because you have to have it, because if your fans don't work, then you can overheat, you can blow the engine. So we cannot have it like that. Plus AC is not gonna work efficiently if these fans fail. And looking at these cables, God forbid they short somewhere, because these are very high powered ones, because they run fans at low speed. So you know, I have to put my good cables, those Teflon wires, all around. Other than that, we're in good shape here. So yeah, the car is in the drive-in for now, and so far this is where I am. Okay, let me just wrap up with all this. Let's debuckle. I'll probably do tomorrow, because I have to take my wife to doctor's office right now in a little bit. I should be able to wrap up this area before I leave. Okay, I'll talk to you soon.